So you're in the market for a new car. You already know it's a huge decision, but these days it feels more complicated than ever, doesn't it? It's not just about picking a color anymore. You're pretty much choosing a whole new way to drive. I mean, you walk onto a dealership lot and you're just hit with this wall of options. You've got your good old gasoline car, a standard hybrid, a plug-in hybrid, and then the fully electric vehicle. It can feel, well, pretty overwhelming, especially when everyone has an opinion on which one is the best. So that's the big question we're going to tackle today. We're going to cut through all the noise, look at the real data on what these cars cost, how they hold up, and their actual impact on the environment. The goal? To help you figure out which car is truly the right choice for you.
Okay, first things first. Before we can compare anything, we've got to be on the same page about what these terms actually mean. So let's do a super quick breakdown of the tech that's powering each of these cars. First up, the one we all know, the gas car. You'll hear it called an ICE, or internal combustion engine vehicle. This is the technology most of us grew up with. It runs purely on gasoline, and for over a century it's been the standard. Simple, straightforward, and you know exactly what you're getting. Next, we've got the standard hybrid, or HEV. This car is clever. It combines a gas engine with an electric motor. Now, the key thing to remember here is you never plug it in. The small battery charges itself, capturing energy from the gas engine and even from braking. It's all designed to boost your gas mileage without you having to change a thing. And then there's its sibling, the plug-in hybrid, or PHEV. You can think of this as a hybrid with a superpower. It's got a much bigger battery and a plug. This lets you drive a pretty good distance, maybe 40, 50, even over 100 kilometers, on pure electricity before that gas engine even wakes up. It's kind of the best of both worlds, an EV for your daily commute and a gas car for those long road trips. And finally, we take the full leap to the battery electric vehicle, or BEV. This is the future, simplified. It runs 100% on electricity from a big battery pack. No gas, no oil changes, and absolutely zero emissions coming out of a tailpipe. You just plug it in, charge it up, and you're good to go. Okay, now that we know who the players are, let's talk about the thing that's on everybody's mind: money. But we're not just going to talk about the price you see on the window sticker. No, we're talking about the true cost to own. You see, the real cost of a car goes way beyond that initial price tag. We're talking about everything that adds up over the years. What you're spending on fuel, all the maintenance, the insurance, minus any tax credits or incentives you can get. And maybe the most important piece of the puzzle, how much money you get back when you eventually sell it. That's its resale value. That's the total cost. So let's look at the hard data. An analysis from Atlas Public Policy did a head-to-head comparison of popular gas cars against their EV equivalents over 7 years. And as you can see, in almost every single matchup from small cars to big SUVs, the electric vehicle was actually cheaper to own in the long run. And the savings can be pretty dramatic. I mean, just look at this example with the Chevy Equinox. If you choose the EV version over the gas model, you could save almost $9,500 over 7 years. That is a huge chunk of change that definitely sways the decision. But, and this is a huge but, there's a catch. As Autoblog points out, that EV savings advantage pretty much evaporates if you can't charge cheaply at home. If you're stuck relying on expensive public fast chargers all the time, the math completely flips on its head. For a lot of folks, especially living in apartments, the simple no-plug hybrid often ends up being the most affordable choice overall. And there are a few other wild cards that can change the math. Resale value is a big one. You know, those early short-range EVs lost value fast, but the newer models are holding their value much, much better. Then there are tax credits. They can save you thousands, but government policies can and do change. And while EVs have way less routine maintenance, that tiny nagging thought about a potential out-of-warranty battery replacement is still a risk people think about. Okay, enough about the spreadsheets. Let's talk about what it's like to actually live with these cars day to day. How do they perform? How reliable are they? How do they handle the real world? All right, let's bust a major myth right now. A lot of people still think hybrids are boring, slow cars just for saving gas. The reality could not be more different. That instant torque you get from an electric motor gives both hybrids and EVs this fantastic zippy acceleration right off the line. Get this, the RAV4 Prime, which is a plug-in hybrid SUV, is actually one of the fastest vehicles Toyota even makes. So yeah, they are anything but slow. But what about reliability? Well, according to massive surveys from Consumer Reports, this is where the old-school tech still has the edge. As you can see, traditional gas cars and standard hybrids have the fewest reported problems. EVs are getting better, but they still have a few more issues. And plug-in hybrids, well, probably because they're cramming two complex systems into one car, they currently have the most reported problems of all. And here's a big one. What if you live somewhere that gets really, really cold? This is where battery chemistry becomes a huge deal. In freezing temperatures, an EV's battery can lose a massive chunk of its range. We're talking nearly half in some tests. Hybrids, on the other hand, handle the cold much better. They might see a small drop in efficiency, kind of like a gas car, because that engine is always there to pick up the slack when the battery isn't happy. So we've covered the cost and the ownership experience, but for a lot of people, the whole point of making a switch is for the planet. So let's dig into the environmental truth, and it's a bit more complex than just what comes out of the tailpipe. This chart right here, this tells the whole story. It's true that building an EV, and especially its battery, creates more emissions up front than building a gas car. But, and this is the important part, over the car's entire life, the EV is the clear winner. Because it has zero tailpipe emissions, its total carbon footprint ends up being way lower than both the hybrid and the gas car. Now, if we break down the EV's footprint, something really critical jumps out. Look at that huge slice of the pie. About 2/3 of its lifetime emissions come from just generating the electricity it uses. This means an EV is only as green as the grid that charges it. Simple as that. So after looking at the cost, the experience, and the environmental impact, which car is the winner? Well, the truth is there isn't one. There's no single best car. The best car is the one that best fits your life. So let's break it down. If you're a city commuter, your daily drive is pretty predictable, and this is the big one, you have access to home charging, then an EV or a plug-in hybrid is almost certainly your best bet. You'll get the lowest running costs, the quietest ride, and you'll really benefit from all that stop-and-go traffic to recharge the battery. But what if that's not you? What if you're a road warrior, always on the highway, or you're a family that can only have one car to do everything? In that case, the standard hybrid is probably your champion. You get awesome fuel economy without ever having to worry about finding a charger or dealing with range anxiety. It's proven, it's reliable, and it just offers the most flexibility. So at the end of the day, the decision really comes back to you. There's no single right answer, just the right answer for your daily needs, your budget, and your lifestyle. Now that you know the trade-offs, the big question is, which car fits your life? We genuinely love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if this video helped you clear things up for you, a like and a subscribe would be amazing. Thanks for watching.